here is the sleeping place. A sleeping place is a cemetery in which are buried many dead and not quite dead things. There are things buried here that are centuries old, and other things that were dropped here and covered over just a few days ago. It's often hard to tell which bones belong to which grave, or which skull belongs on which body. It is a work of the imagination to dig up these things and to put them in some kind of order. Myths and beliefs probably both help and hinder. The objects buried here include strings of beads, probably from the 6th century before there was a written culture in this country. Their strings have rotted and the beads have rolled apart, but I have collected them back together in a store of words and phrases ready for restringing. A few examples from this store are blue-yellow beads. Harsher than an unripe pear is an unexpected quarrel. Each new moon is the full moon's lost shadow. Or red beads. Nothing is sharper than a strong beak or the wind across an open field. Tomorrow is following the dog as it chases its own tail. Or yellow-blue beads. What is more like hope than no horizon? A dream of a daughter is the memory of a ship. Or black bees with red or white spots. A swarm of bees is louder than a memory. Here is a hollow trunk for hiding and mourning. Or large black beads with thin red veins, pale blue spots, and lattice work. Only a fool calls a deer the white deer when it crosses the stand of view. From this store of individual beads, new strings can be made up. So this is the string of beads chosen by the Potential Poetries group, which I will now put on. Bright red bead, low purple bead, blue bead, deep blue bead, blue green bead, amber bead, mauve purple bead, black bead with white scrolls, pale blue bead, decomposed bead, which is silence, chocolate red bead, missing bead, which is a long silence, black bead, pale green bead, mottled bead, missing bead, which is a long silence, deep green bead. The sun cuts a shadow faster than this axe. The turn of the spindle summons an unkind ghost. How a free woman walks is the walk of one not born here. How far past the ash tree is a far seeing. Before this stone is useful, it is a stone. Here is a song about the blue-skinned boar and picking hazelnuts. The dance of bees summons the plum. Naming apple trees for a male horse is a sword, as a sister waits where a stillness is opening. Silence. The signs of a sacred place are a red horse and this red feather, a long silence. When the thorn casts a shadow longer than a footprint, come quickly, for where the tree guards, the well is sacred water. How far past the yew tree is grieving, a long silence. Naming apple trees for a female horse is our shield. Who waits here is a sister still. And for my second piece, I'm just very quickly going to read something prepared by another member of our group, Siley Gore. And it's a live performance script. I'm just going to read it quickly and then just follow its instructions. Find a book that appeals, perhaps at a place where shade and sun intersect. Open the book at will. Replace each noun with one of the words below as you read aloud. Language, silence, light, time, loss, city, and archive. So the book that I found was Alice Through the Looking Glass, and I'm just going to read a very short passage following the instructions on this card. She caught the language as she spoke and looked about for the silence. In another moment, the white light came running wildly through the time, with loss stretched out wide as if she were flying. And the city very civilly went to meet her with the archive. I'm very glad I happened to be in the language, Silence said, as she helped her to put on her light again. The white time only looked at her in a helpless, frightened sort of way and kept repeating something in a loss to herself that sounded like city and archive, city and archive. And language felt that if there was to be any silence at all, she must manage it herself. Thank you.